And those are your latest headlines. Welcome to France 24. I'm Louise Hannah. Well, it is, of course, the first day of 2012, and millions of people around the world saw in the new year with fireworks, parties, and even a few celebrities. While here in Paris, revellers popped champagne corks at midnight along the famed Champs-Élysées, or got themselves to a rooftop where they could see the Eiffel Tower.
2002, and enthusiasm over Europe's newly founded single currency was running.
Well, apologies for the pause. It's happy birthday to the Euro 2 this Sunday as it celebrates 10 years since its creation. But for some, there's little to toast as Europe continues to try and fight the Eurozone debt crisis. And the rest of the world waits with bated breath to see how it'll impact on other economies. Well, 2012 is due to be a big year for Egypt, still transitioning from more than 30 years of rule under former President Hosni Mubarak to what many hope will be democracy. But protests continue nearly a year after the fall of Mubarak, with many Egyptians saying the ruling military isn't giving them what they fought for. Well, we can now talk to our correspondent Ashraf Khalil. Ashraf, there's still huge uncertainty over there. Is there anything that can be firmly predicted for 2012? And what about protesters in terms of what they're fighting for? Is there still a spirit of can-do? Do they still have hope and optimism? The government of Democratic Republic of Congo has accused opposition supporters of attacking the president of the Senate in Paris on Saturday night. Leon Congo Wadondo was set upon at the train station Gare du Nord after arriving in the capital from Brussels. And we can now talk to Lambert Mende, Information Minister for the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mr. Mende, thank you for joining us. Tell us why you believe it's opposition leader Etienne Tshisekedi supporters who've carried out this attack. Mr. Mende, it could be said that Mr. Wadondo did run against Joseph Kabila in last year's elections, and he did call for the result to be annulled, so it's not impossible the attack was carried out by pro-Kabila supporters. Would you agree? Mr. Mende, you've called in the French ambassador in Kinshasa to answer questions. Do you believe the French government is at fault in any way? OK, thank you for all those answers, Mr. Mende. To other world news now, Iran says it's test-fired a new medium-range missile on Sunday. It comes during the final part of a 10-day naval drill in the Gulf, and Iran's currency, the rial, slipped to a record low on Sunday, a day after the US imposed extra sanctions targeting its central bank and financial sector. To Syria now, and Arab League monitors appear to be in conflict over whether it saw government snipers in Deraa. In a video released by the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, one of the observers there said he'd seen them with his own eyes. And yet the head of the mission later said the remark was just hypothetical and that the observer didn't see anything. Well, 2011 took many world leaders by surprise, least of all those in North Africa and the Middle East, who found themselves in the midst of revolutions to topple their decades-long grip on power. But what does 2012 have in store? Let's take a look now at the events we can predict, such as the US elections in November. That's all we have time for. We're back in 20 minutes.